What is up, everybody? Here we are. It is me. It is your boy, 138 MMA. I'm here with Pickem MMA. So the couple of MMA guys. We're going to break down this card, this PFL 8 playoff card. We got 10 fights to break down. At the end of our breakdowns of each of the fights, we're going to make a little parlay for you guys because I know you guys love them. We've got Grateful Dude in the chat. He appreciates these.
Cool.
We've got Nate Brown in the chat using the fancy emojis that he gets from my channel, but they don't actually show up on StreamYard, so I can't actually see them. But I know it's a root beer can because that's what it says.
Cheers,
so,
Nate Brown. Cheers.
Go. That's awesome, guys. Okay. So we got like 6 of you guys in the chat so far. We're going to get some more. Here we go. Tyra season. That's right. Tyra's going to be winning some fights here soon for us, too. He's going to be getting that next one. So we're going to go ahead and kick off these fights. We've got 10 of them. PFL 8, not 6. It's the playoffs. Things are a little different now because no longer do they have to try to get a finish in the first round or whatever for points. Now things change. They just need to get wins. So that we'll have to take that into account when we break these down. But the first matchup we have, there's a couple of really ridiculous lines on this.
Yeah, I mean, these fights shouldn't even be happening, to be honest.
Yeah. Michelle Montague and Marilla Moras. And Montague's 5-0 and Moras is 3-1. Pickem, what do you think about this fight? How do you feel about it?
This is a typical kickboxer versus grappler. I mean, and what's her name again? I forgot her name already. Michelle Montague. She's gonna grouse. She's gonna choke her out in the first round. It's gonna be one takedown. It's gonna be over from there. Merlia, she came back and got ground and pounded her last fight, or second on. So the line's over and under set at 1.5 rounds. And I'm just not brave enough to bet the under 1.5 at -200. I could have got it at -170 earlier, and I was like, fuck that. I'm not betting that under a women's MMA fight. It might go over, it might go under. I think if you can catch a submission prop on Montague, I mean, probably take that. I mean, they don't have those in Bet Online, I think. They didn't release the props on this fight for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm going to pick Michelle, the -1900 favorite. I mean, she's way too crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it goes under. I think it goes under 1.5 rounds. But the -200 line is way too ridiculous to be betting the over under.
I agree. I mean, realistically, like she probably subs her in the first round. Is she down to -1900? Oh no, she's up. She's actually -2500.
Okay, that's even crazy now.
So like, yeah, she probably wins. Like, you don't really need much more from us on that one. We can just move on to the next fight, which is another fight with another massive favorite. We have Jordan Oliver taking on Braden Akiu. And I don't remember if this one wasn't the short notice one. No, this one was planned. Oliver's a -900 favorite though. So a little more reasonable. What do you think, Pickem?
I mean, he's going to be the much better wrestler, right? That's what it comes down to. And he's got pretty nasty ground and pound. Cardio is okay. We haven't really seen his cardio tests, so we don't know what kind of cardio he has. If this guy's that he's fighting is tough enough to hang in there. And this guy trains at MMA Lab, right? He missed weight by crazy. Didn't he miss weight for this fight, or was that the other guy? I think that's the guy that's fighting Ollie Walsh, right? Stapleton.
I don't know. I haven't actually seen the weigh-ins.
I think he's the one that missed weight for this fight. So let me see. I think usually Tapology they list weigh-ins, but okay, they did. So I don't know if he missed weight. No, he didn't miss weight. He came in at 146. So yeah, durability is questionable on his side. He trains at MMA Lab, so I was like, let me watch some tape on this guy because he's training at MMA Lab, and I'm pretty high on those guys that train at MMA Lab. We've seen a couple of those guys. I think Delgado on Dana White doesn't train at MMA Lab or something like that. He looked pretty good out there, so I am gonna pick Jordan here. I think he was supposed to make his debut a couple of weeks ago, but those fights ended up being canceled. Now he's gonna come in here, get a takedown. It's gonna be ground and pound, probably gonna be first round. Well, again, -265 for the under. I think it's almost -300 for the under. -215 for the under 1.5 rounds. They don't have props yet. So like, if they had props, I would take the inside of distance, probably parlay that was something. But yeah, I think it was under 1.5 rounds again. But it's like, yeah, I think this one I'm more confident this one goes under 1.5 than the first fight. I think that one's gonna go under too, but it's women's MMA. Sometimes, I mean, they don't really have the nastiest ground and pound. I think Jordan is going to have that nasty ground and pound. He's going to finish him in the first round, probably ground and pound or submission. I'm going to say first round finish here, under 1.5. So I didn't bet it. I didn't bet the under.
I'm going to say he probably gets a sub because I think what's going to happen is he's going to start the ground and pound and homie's going to turn over and give up his back and then he's going to take the rear naked. So I would say sub, but like we said, there's no props out yet that I've seen. But if so, I imagine you'll get a better line on the sub than you will on the KO just because sub lines are usually a little better. But either way, I mean, it's not really.
Acu is actually long and rangy though, I've seen, but he's not really in crazy shape. If you watch the weigh-ins, like I was watching it earlier, he's not really in the best shape. I mean, Jordan's like, he's actually like way better shape than Acu. So I think Jordan probably gonna get a finish first round. Maybe submission, maybe ground and pound, either one. I mean, it's gonna go under 1.5 rounds.
Right. I mean, minus 900, he should get a first round finish. So I mean, there's that.
Every time I see a minus 900, I always have flashbacks to Mark Ewan. You remember that? Mark Ewan?
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes that happens.
The only guy that I trust at minus 800, I got Ali Walsh at minus 800. So I was like, I think that's a better parlay piece than these guys. These guys only have like, at least we've seen Ali Walsh fight in PFL for a long time, right?
Yeah.
He's had a bunch of amateur fights in PFL. So at least he's got some experience in PFL. But I think Jordan should be able to get this one done. Big grappling edge. Ali Walsh was minus 800. I've seen him all the way down to minus 600, or like the line was going all the way down. I think now the line's like bouncing back the other way.
He's like 1,500 now.
Yeah, the line's bouncing back. But yeah, our opening odds were like minus. I think the opening odds were actually crazy, and then some money came in on the underdog. So because he couldn't finish his last opponent, so I think that's why people are like, okay, this guy might not be that dude, but. Yeah, I think it's a good matchup. But yeah, Jordan should be able to get this one done by first round submission or ground and pound.
Yeah, definitely. So we can move on to the next one. This one's the first one with a line that's like a number that makes sense. It's Thad Jean taking on Chris Brown. And no, it's not the Chris Brown for the music and dancing fame. This is a different Chris Brown. Who do you have in this one, Pickem?
Bro, Thad Jean is huge. I mean, for this weight class. I mean, did you watch the weigh-ins? Holy shit. This guy is huge. He kind of reminds me of Jamal Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very athletic, has nasty ground and pound also. Can wrestle also if he needs to. But what I'll say about Chris Brown is, I mean, I've seen his fights in LFA, like when he just leg kicked the shit out of Harris Lenjic, who's not really a striker and more known for grappling. But yeah, he's got some of the nastiest leg kicks, really unorthodox striking. He's really tricky to deal with. I mean, he's not going to be a stationary target out there. He's going to be moving the whole time. So he's pretty durable. I mean, he's fought some pretty solid guys out there in regional MMA, so he's not really been finished. He's lost a couple of fights by split decision. So Bahamondes split, I mean, that's pretty solid, right? Going to split decision with Bahamondes is pretty solid. So I'm not going to touch this fight. I'm not betting this fight. I was honestly like thinking about the over 1.5 rounds, but Thad Jean might be that dude. He really might be that dude. So he might be the first one to knock this guy out. I mean, I don't know. I think Thad Jean by decision was plus 400, and I was like looking at that for at least a day, and I was like, I couldn't get myself to bet on it because I was like, this guy might be that dude, and he might be the first one to knock this guy out. But I'm gonna say Thad Jean wins by decision because I think Chris Brown's pretty durable.
You can get plus money on him by decision.
Yeah, it's plus 250 now. It was plus 400 earlier, so I'm not betting it. Mine it's plus 250 anymore. If I was going to bet it, it was going to be earlier, like plus 400.
I think he can do it. The dude hits like a truck, man. I think he can get the knockout. But, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it went to decision, but I think Gene's going to be able to knock him out. He's just such a beast. Like, it's like you said, he's just so big for the weight class. Yeah,
he's pretty big for the weight class. I don't know how he makes this weight class.
Just, yeah, he has, I don't know. Some guys can do that, where they can just really just drain the weight easier. Like we'll talk about Brent Primis in a little bit. He's another one, but like some guys can just suck all that weight out and then put it right back on, like no big deal. I don't know how they do it. It's. I
mean, Thad Jean's gone the distance before, right? Like I've seen him go the distance when he's supposed to finish his opponent and he couldn't finish him, and he was okay with just winning by decision. So I could see something like that happening here. But if he drops him, I mean, he's gonna finish him. I think if he drops him, but I don't have a good feeling. And the minus 350 line for Thad Jean seems a bit crazy. I mean, he's not fighting a guy that's not like has durability issues like his last two fights. Right. Those guys had durability issues. I mean, Chris Brown. I mean, I think the size is gonna play a factor here. So I'm still gonna take Thad Jean as a pick. And over 1.5 seems like it should go over, but I don't know. This seems kind of shady.
Yeah, it's
Thad Jean. I mean, he's definitely got some power.
Well, with that, we can move on. Obviously, we're both on Thad Jean. We're cruising through the early stuff like pretty quickly. It's not because like we don't really want to. Like, it's not because we're not paying attention to the fights. It's simply just because there's not much to
It's
say.
pretty simple. Tad Gene by KO is minus 140. It was actually minus 190 earlier, I think. Then some money came by points. So
even so,
if that was plus money, plus 120, plus 140, plus 150 for Tad Gene by KO, because he's gonna need to be the first one to kill this guy. I mean, a lot of like Bob Montague is a pretty accomplished striker. I mean, he's a pretty good striker. I don't know if he has the same power as Tad Gene. I think Tad Gene might have one punch more power, or one punch power. I mean, but yeah, it's not even plus money. I mean,
yeah.
I just seen that. It was gonna grimy.
Oh goodness, that's pretty funny. Okay, we can move on to the next fight. We have Elvin Espinosa taking on Mads Bernell, and this is actually the first fight of the card that I think is like competitive, and either guy has a path to victory in this one. So I'm actually excited about that. Who do you have in this one? What are your thoughts? What's your take?
I don't know. I might just be a Mads Bernell hater because I just don't think he's that good. He's okay. Like his striking is pretty sloppy. And his wrestling is his bread and butter. He can wrestle, but wrestling Clay Collard doesn't really tell me a lot. Now, I was on Clay Collard. I had parlays with Clay Collard, and I was pretty pissed off. On the live stream, I was like really pissed off. And I was like really pissed off. I was like, I couldn't believe that he took him down like 6 times, and Clay Collard just looked like a fish on his back. Couldn't really get up to his feet, do anything. I mean, other than just getting taken on over and over. Bernell he missed weight for that fight also. Came in overweight. I mean, wasn't looking like he was in shape. Espinosa, I mean, he got wrestled. He was losing the other fight also. Which fight was that? He's losing the fight before. Let's see if I can pull it up here. It was Adam Piccolotti fight. Yeah, he was actually losing that fight before he landed a flying knee. I had him there, so I'm happy Cass was underdog there. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Espinosa. When I did my early breakdown, he was underdog plus 114. Now he's like minus 130, minus 140. So I think Espinosa is more dangerous, and I'm sure he's been working that takedown defense in Cliff FC. So
it's
Bernell,
like
Bernell can work him though, but I'm not. I'm not really a Mads Bernell guy. I'm gonna go Espinosa.
Somebody in the chat can probably confirm this for us. But it's looking like on Bet Online, you can still get Espinosa as an underdog, but on Betway, you can get Mads Bernell as an underdog. So if you have both of those books, like you might as well.
Is he underdog now? I've seen it. I think he's like, okay, let me see. Okay, he's plus 103 now. So okay, so I seen him at like minus 140 earlier.
Yeah, I mean it's been changing.
It's
been shifting a bunch.
Yeah, I like Espinosa. I like Espinosa as an underdog. I feel more confident in him as a dog at plus money than like at negative odds.
Oh, for sure. For me, I feel like Bernell is going to edge it out on the scorecards, but I'm not confident in this at all. It's one of those fights where like
it's going to be a really like competitive fight, I think. Yeah, unless Espinosa can lock in a submission or something. Yeah, Espinosa. I mean, he does have some solid wins, right? Trey. What's that guy's name in amateurs? I mean, it was a long time ago. Trey Waters, who does have submission holes in his game. I mean, Trey Waters is pretty good. So, like, he's fought some pretty solid guys out there. So, I hope he wins. I mean, I'm not really a Mads Bernell guy, but I can't blame you for going Mads Bernell here because he does have more experience at this level.
Yeah, I go back and forth on whether or not I'm a Mads Bernell guy or not. Like, I have been in the past, and then I was off the train for a while, but, like, he sucks me back in with these wins over guys like Clay Collard. So, like, sometimes...
Yeah, even that Michael Dufort fight, I picked him there to win, and he should have won that fight. I was like, I don't know, striking couldn't really hurt him at all. Like, he was just landing some punches, and he's just hitting air the whole time, couldn't really land anything clean. Then he got hurt to the body, got submitted right away. Like, it was like, I was like, holy shit, this guy's pretty bad. So, I might just be holding a grudge there on Bernell.
He's one of the guys that, like, shows up sometimes, and when he does show up, he looks really good. And then when he doesn't, then like other fights, he won't show up at all. So he's just kind of inconsistent. So like
even that Clay Collard fight, like he really didn't do a lot of damage there. It was just all control, wrestling.
And sometimes that's all you need to win.
Yeah, Clay Collard has no power. I mean, I've realized that. I mean, this guy has 38 fights and no takedown defense still. It's like kind of crazy. Clay Collard not still having any takedown defense out there. What's going to Hunter? Let's go. I lost money on Clay Collard too. It was like I was so pissed off on the live stream.
Yeah, dude, that was one where I missed. I think that was one of the few Gosh, was that what the one we did last time? Because that could have been the guy that like lost.
Okay, yeah, that was. You're right. That was the time we
It
did.
had to have
Pickem, I
been
think.
because we had Collard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clay
Impa was
Collard is,
wasn't Impa the co-main event on that card? Impa versus Jacob Nadeau, right? Wasn't was he not the okay? That was the co-main event. Yeah, we missed that parlay because of Clay Collard. Yeah.
Yep.
God damn it.
So there we go. Now we know why. That was it. I knew it was somebody. So this one, we have an interesting matchup here. We have Danny Sabatello taking on Lazaro Daron. Daron's undefeated though at 8-0, so he's kind of the prospect coming up. But he's fighting obviously Danny Sabatello, who's been there, done that, fought for the titles, all that good stuff. Who do you have in this? Are you taking the vet or are you taking the up and comer?
Bro, I watched tape on this guy. I was like, let me see, man. This guy trains out of the Goat Shed. I mean, what the fuck is that? Goat Shed.
Goat Shed's a good gym.
First time I was actually like a legit gym.
Yeah, no, Goat Shed's good.
Julian Robertson trains out of there. Okay.
Yeah, Goat Shed's legit.
But yo, so I watched tape on this guy, right? I watched tape on this guy, and I was like, I don't know, man. Let me like his wrestling is not even that great, to be honest. I don't know how he got to 8-0. Like he's kind of dangerous in some grappling exchanges, but Sabatello should be able to handle him here. Sabatello, like the only reason I faded Sabatello with Ruffian Stats in a rematch at plus money, because Sabatello not only like a crazy submission artist, he'll like get a submission. I think he only got like one submission win in the last year or so. Yeah, the Stats is pretty slick. I mean, Stats is a high level guy, so I think Sabatello should be able to wrestle him, maybe get a submission here. I'm just not confident on him though at this line. I don't trust him at this line. But I think he's gonna be the way bigger guy. He's gonna have the physicality, advantage, the way better experience. He's gonna be the far better grappler, have the better jiu-jitsu out there, trains with some high level guys that American top team. I think he shouldn't be losing this fight. If he loses this fight, his hype's gonna be completely derailed. But I'm gonna pick Sabatello by decision. I think this guy's pretty tough, Daron. But Lazaro's striking is really slow, and his grappling is pretty terrible too. I don't think he has the best wrestling out there.
Well, yeah, and so like Sabatello isn't the type to look for a finish either. So like I think he's probably going to get the decision just because he doesn't go for finishes often. So for me, I like the over 1.5. I know it's minus 200. I guess it's minus 180 on BetUS.
Yeah, I think it should go over. It should go over. Yeah.
When it's a 1.5 line, which is silly. I think that's easy. Danny Sabatello. When is this guy finishing anybody inside of 1.5? Like not often. Let's see. When's his last? I know he had one finish recently, but that was 4-10 into round 2. Over 1.5 still.
Yeah, he should go over. This guy's pretty tough. Unless he gasses, then he might submit him later. But I don't think he's gonna gas.
Yeah, his last finish in under 1.5 was in Titan FC. So like,
so Sabatello looks like a scumbag. Yeah, I don't know. He just has that look.
Sabatello kind of is a scumbag, to be honest, but he's pretty good at grappling. That's for sure.
I mean, they're chirping at each other at the weigh-in. So like, I'm kind of excited for this fight. I'm looking forward to it. At least Sabatello kind of builds up some hype. I mean. So should be fun. Should be fun matchup. Yeah, he could have won that Stotts fight if he just did damage and was trying to go for submissions. He's just trying to hold him, and every time Stotts would get right back up, land some strikes, then win the round. That was a pretty good spot on Stotts there, but he's not fighting Stotts here.
Yeah, I was thankfully able to bet Stotts over Sabatello both times that they fought, and they gave me a good line both times. And like,
I only bet him the last time. It was plus 140. On Stotts, and I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, he beat him the first time. Yeah,
Stotts was actually like, I think Stotts opened up as a favorite, then money came in on Sabatello,
which is weird because Sabatello doesn't do damage. He needs to fight somebody he can just control the whole fight if he's gonna win.
That's what I said in my breakdown. That I don't think Sabatello is gonna be able to find that submission. If he can't find a submission, he's not gonna do enough damage to win every round.
He does no ground and pound, basically none, unless the ref is like telling him he has to do something to stand up, and then he'll do the classic body head thing. But
do you think it's a good parlay piece here? I don't trust him, man. Like he was minus 700, I think, earlier, and I just was like, no way, I don't trust him at minus 700. He should win this fight though, but it's just like the line's kind of crazy for a guy doesn't have crazy finishing ability out there. But
he's down to minus 900 now. He was minus 1,000 most of the week. So, but yeah, it's still like. It's hard to trust a guy that doesn't do damage, but at the same time, like he should win. So
he's going to be the far bigger guy in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Sabatello pick, but like, I wouldn't play his money line, that's for sure. But like, I wouldn't mind him in a parlay. Honestly, he's not that bad. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to the next one. Unfortunately, this is a replacement fight. Biagio Ali Walsh, is now fighting Brian Stapleton. He was originally fighting Corey Taylor, which is not apparently the same guy from Slipknot, so that's news to me. But he's fighting the Brian Stapleton now, who's making his debut. So Stapleton, as an amateur, was 4-4.
4-4, yeah. It's
which
like
is not a good sign.
They're bringing him in to just fucking sacrifice for Ali Walsh, basically.
Yeah.
And he missed weight. I don't think he came in he missed weight by like 4 pounds, I think, or 5 pounds. So he clearly didn't train for this fight. Took this fight on short notice for a paycheck, I think. Or he's 27 years old. I mean, but yeah, it's he's gonna get TKO'd. He's gonna get teed off on the feet. Ali Walsh is gonna be the much better striker, have the more power on the feet. He's gonna be far bigger, also, I think. The one thing I don't like about Ali Walsh, though, he wasn't really trying to finish his last opponent. And he still showed that he can go 3 rounds if he needs to, right? He's not just gonna gas out like some guys we've seen that are finishing everyone, then they gas out when fights are dragging on. So I'm gonna pick Ali Walsh by first round KO. He should be able to find the KO here. I think he's gonna go for the finish because I think he knows people are like pissed off that he couldn't finish the other dude last time, and I was pissed off too because I had the under 1.5 in the parlay, obviously, but it is what it is. There, I think he's gonna finish him. I didn't play the under here. Just because when you get burned on the under 1.5 in the fight before, like you're not really running to the books to go play the under. Right. But I think he's gonna finish. I think it's a good parlay piece. What's the line now?
He's at minus 1,500 now, but the under is
holy shit. If you can find under 2.5 rounds and DraftKings, do they have props up for this fight for this card?
No,
I don't think
so. Just
right?
1.5 and over under.
Are you on DraftKings right now?
I just have FightOdds.io pulled up.
Normally they'll release the odds the night before, right? So sometimes they'll like do it the night before. I'm gonna check if they have. Yeah, they don't. I don't think they're gonna release them. They're not releasing them for this card because I think they're too busy with the UFC 305 and Dana White Contender Series now.
Yeah, they got props on some of the bigger fights on this card, but that's it. Like the top 4 fights, they have props for. Actually, no, they have like 6 fights with props because they have props for Espinosa, Bernell, and then Chris Brown and Thad Jean for whatever reason.
I still think Ali Walsh is good parlay piece, even at this line, because we've seen him go 3 rounds, right? So we don't have to worry about him gassing out, and he's tough enough, has decent cardio, so he's gonna have the more finishing upside here. He can also wrestle if he needs to. We've seen him wrestle out there, so I think even minus 1,500 line is definitely kind of crazy now for minus 1,500. I still think it's pretty good. I think
like short of the freak injury, I think he wins because realistically, this guy's a 4-4 amateur that they're bringing in on short notice to fight.
And he missed weight. Yeah, he missed weight. Wasn't in shape for this fight either.
Right.
So he's probably gonna be there for like a couple minutes, and then he's probably just gonna look for the door. He's been finished before, so I think
like you could legitimately probably lay the 15 units to win 1 and feel pretty good about it.
Or like put $1 million and you might win a car, or something like that.
Right? Oh, geez. Okay, well, we can move on because there's not really much else to say about that one. But now we're getting into the fights. There's 4 fights left. We've cut through the first 6 that were just kind of whatever. I guess outside of the Espinosa and Bernell fight.
No, these fights are pretty simple.
These are good. Brent Primis, Clay Collard. This fight is probably the one I'm most excited for on the card. Pickem, who do you have, and what do you think happens in this one?
Bro, I'm taking Primis all day here. Even though he's 39, but he's only looking better and better every time he's out there fighting. Now, his striking is kind of sloppy, I'll be honest. The body language doesn't look that great out there when he's striking, but he's tough, man. He's gonna be swinging in the pocket. He's willing to just bite down on the mouthpiece and just swing hammers. I mean, this guy, and he's big for this weight class. I mean, we've seen Clay Collard still can't defend takedowns. I mean, I'm fucking mumbling now, but he still can't defend takedowns. He's 38 fights in his MMA career and still can't defend takedowns. And that's all Primis is gonna do. He's gonna wrestle because he'll like strike for a minute, then time that takedown behind it. Right? He's got really nice splash double leg takedowns, body lock, inside trip takedowns. So I think Primis here is one of the best. I actually like Primis a lot here. I think even on the feet, I mean, Clay Collard, I don't think he has one punch power. He's more of a volume striker. He'll like put the pace on you. If you start getting tired, he'll like start teeing off on you. But his best KO win was like Patricky Pitbull, and he beat what's that guy's name? Burgos, right? He beat Burgos in an absolute dogfight. Burgos wasn't really trying to wrestle all that much out there. was just a striking matchup. It was a boxing match. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take Primis here. I think Primis can he find a submission? I don't know if he could. I mean, Clay Collard knows how to defend submissions, but he's finishing people out there. So I like the money line a lot. I mean, I like Primis here a lot. I think Primis is gonna win this fight. I don't think he's losing to this guy Clay Collard. Clay Collard, if somehow miraculously he starts defending takedowns, I mean, even then I think he's gonna be competitive on the feet. I don't think he might get ahead on the volume because I think he throws more output out there on the feet. But yeah, I think Primis is gonna mix him. He's not dumb, man. There's a reason he's winning fights still at 39 years old. I mean, he's tough. We've seen him go 5 rounds with Nurmagomedov, who's a juiced up Nurmagomedov, was not clearly juicing for that fight.
Yeah, didn't that get overturned?
Yeah, they overturned it after because he was juicing, right? But
yeah, so if you go 5 rounds with him while he's on the juice, you're obviously doing something right.
There's no way he's gonna finish him. I mean, I'm gonna take Primis by. So I think submission is live, but I think the money line is the way to go. Primis money line.
Honestly, the money line's still playable. He's minus 190 earlier this week.
Minus 140. I took him a minus 140. He was an
underdog at one point when the line dropped.
Was he underdog? Was he really?
No, not when it dropped. Actually, when was he the underdog? He was though for a bit. It was really short.
I never seen him as an underdog. I mean, I've seen him only at minus 140, and I've seen him all the way down to minus one like 125 and.
Yeah, August 9th, he was the underdog on DraftKings when the line dropped. Because DraftKings.
I still think even now, like I think he's one of the better parlay pieces. Even now, I'm minus 190.
Yeah, I think honestly, he's my favorite bet of the card. I bet him immediately. Like when I saw, I got him at like minus 162. I think was the time I got him.
I think he's gonna win. He's not losing to Clay Collard. Clay Collard said he didn't put his gloves on because he's been drilling takedown defense, and I don't really believe that. This guy, imagine being 38 fights in your career, and now you're gonna work in your takedown defense, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, the fact that this line is this close is only because Primis is like 39, but at the same time, Collard's not that young either. So it's not like Collard's like 28. You know,
he's got a lot of wear and tear in his body, or he's been in so many fights. I mean,
yeah, I mean he's only 31, but he's still. I mean, he's had how many had 30? Yeah, 38 fights.
You remember the AJ McKee fight? He tried to take down AJ McKee. Wasn't he him that tried to take down AJ McKee and ran into a Gilly or armbar? Yeah, triangle armbar. I think it was him that tried to take down on him. That was pretty stupid.
Yeah, dude, because AJ McKee can grapple. But yeah, dude, I think Primis, like, I think he rolls here. I think he's going to be able to get the takedowns when he wants. I think on the feet, he's going to be able to do enough to set up the takedowns. And I don't think he's going to be dumb enough to sit there and try to strike with Collard, because Collard is the better striker. I don't think that's crazy to say. But I think Primis is good enough.
He's probably the better boxer. I think he's the better boxer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Collard has nice boxing, and he's willing to get in a dogfight. But Primis isn't stupid, like you said. He's gonna.
Primis has power too. I've seen him rock people out there, but his striking is kind of sloppy though. It's mostly just to set up the takedowns.
Even though it was kind of BS, he technically has a knockout win over Michael Chandler because Michael Chandler
that was bullshit.
It's so dumb, but it's on the record, so we're taking it. I was so mad because I had Michael Chandler that night, and I was so mad about that. But we can move on. Obviously,
I don't know how this guy makes 155. I still can't. Look at this dude's arms, bro. You seen his fucking arms at the weigh-ins?
Dude, just built.
This guy looks like he's at least like 170 or if not 185. I mean, he could probably fight at 185 if he wanted to.
It's amazing he wasn't the one that popped for roids.
Yeah.
So next we've got Godze Rabadonov, the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing at lightweight. He's fighting Michael Dufort, who kind of actually impressed a lot of people, I'd say, in this tournament. In his it's in the first fight of the tournament. So we got Dufort, who's more of a submission grappler, versus Godze Rabadonov, who's the decision machine. Who do you have in this one? How do you feel like it goes?
Bro, I'm taking Rabadonov all fucking day. I mean, he's gonna win this fight. Dufort is terrible when he can like hurt you or finish you or get the submission off, and he's not really the best at winning fights or like that are going longer. Right? He's not really the best at winning round after round. And Rabadonov, I mean, striking is honestly, I think people just look at his wrestling that he's a chain wrestler, which is true. He's a chain wrestler, but yeah, his striking is honestly pretty good. He'll like throw some question mark kicks. I mean, I've seen him throw question mark kicks, spinning back to the body, and he's striking is good enough where he's gonna change levels and get those takedowns. and he's gonna win this fight. I mean, I think he's even at -600. I think he's a way better parlay piece than everyone on the card.
Yeah.
Him, Impa, and these other guys, like he's a better parlay piece than like women's MMA fighter earlier, Michelle Montague, whatever her name is,
Yep.
and Jordan Oliver. I think you can parlay Rabadonov with some UFC fighters on Saturday. I mean, I think he's solid. He's gonna win by decision. I like the over 2.5 also because Dufort is tough enough where he's not gonna fold. Even though Ghazi's been saying that he's gonna finish people out there, which he doesn't really do. He's not really finishing anyone. Yeah, over 2.5 rounds, -220, I think, or -240. What's the number? I think it's like -260.
Yeah.
Yeah, -260. I think that's a great parlay piece. And then Ghazi money line, I think, is a great parlay piece. So I like both of them. I'm on both of them. Ghazi money line.
Thing is that it's -200 for Rabadonov by decision.
Yeah, why would you take him by decision then? That's what I was thinking about. I was like, let me see what him by decision is. I was like, if it's like -135, I was like, I'm gonna bet that. But if it's like, and I was like, then I saw the -200 in bet online. I was like, I'm just gonna take the over.
Yeah,
like just to be safe, just in case something crazy happens, and then
because Rob really doesn't finish people because like. He doesn't really finish it. Like, rumor has it that his mother still has to remind him to finish his dinner at night because he doesn't do that either. But no, I mean, Rabadonov probably is getting a decision here.
Let's go. We got Cobra in the house. Let's go. Yeah. You remember, Cobra's got a pretty big following in Twitter now. Cobra's taking our Twitter.
Yeah?
Cobra.
Yeah. Actually, I think I've interacted with Cobra on Twitter.
That Cobra show.
Yeah. Probably. I interact with a lot of people on Twitter, and I forget who everybody is. I don't remember. Unless I see them on YouTube, I don't remember who they are based on their Twitter names. So it always throws me off. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's easy that I think Rabadonov by decision is like it's the
square call. I mean, but that's the way he's gonna win. I mean, Dufort is pretty tough though, and he looked pretty good in good shape for this fight. But yeah, just if he can, like even that Bernell fight, he lost the first round, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then he won. He hurt him to the body, got the submission off. But I don't see him submitting Ghazi here. I don't think he's gonna submit Ghazi here.
No, I mean it would be pretty wild, and that would be the upset of the entire PFL season.
And Ghazi's been finished before. It was like years and years ago. But he's pretty durable, and he knows how to fight safe. I mean, he trains at what's that team name, right? Nurmagomedov school.
Eagles MMA or whatever.
I think he trains at Nurmagomedov.
Did they change the name?
At the Waynes, it said he still trains out of the Nurmagomedov school, right?
Yeah. Mamashev team, it says on his gym affiliations, but I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's true. He trains at a Abdul Nurmagomedov school, I think, still. So they have a pretty good game plan. They're gonna have a good game plan for him out there. Now, Dufort's takedown defense is honestly not terrible, but I can just see him defending takedowns for entire round after round and just getting controlled and getting behind on striking numbers. Ghazi's gonna work him. I mean, this line should be -1200, I think. I actually think this guy should be -2500 than Michelle Montague, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah. I think
Ghazi should be -2500 here.
I'd say he's the most. I feel like he's the safest favorite for a parlay. But we can move on. The next matchup is actually a pretty good one. Rob Wilkinson versus, I'm gonna mess this up. Dovaldson Yagshimuradov. I can get Yagshimuradov, but the first.
I usually don't say the first name. Dovlet. I think Dovlet, right? Dovlet Yagshimuradov.
Yeah, let's go with that. We're gonna go with that. But who do you have, Yagshimuradov or Wilkinson?
Bro, I was like, this one's kind of tricky. I think this is actually a closer fight, but I'm gonna pick Wilkinson because I do think he's the far better kickboxer. He's gonna be way bigger than Yagshimuradov. Honestly, at the weigh-ins, the size wasn't looking that much for Wilkinson. It wasn't a crazy difference at the weigh-ins. Maybe Yagshimuradov has some running shoes on. But yeah, I think Yagshimuradov is pretty slick, man. He's got the karate stance, striking, and moves in and out of pretty well. He's pretty light on his feet, so he's gonna be quick. He's pretty quick for this at this weight class at light heavyweight. I mean, I think this is gonna be a closer matchup than the odds are close for a reason. I think but I'm gonna pick Wilkinson because I think he's gonna be able to land enough knees in the clinch if Yagshimuradov starts changing levels. Wilkinson can wrestle offensively. We've seen him wrestle so very, right? So he can wrestle offensively if he needs to. That fight was so close, man. I'm so
Way too
happy
close.
that he won that fight, but it was really close. That was at elevation though, so maybe I think that played a factor there. So
Yeah, that fight made me really nervous because I had Wilkinson a parlay, and I was like, man, you should be beating this guy easily, but he
yeah,
just
that
wasn't.
was so close. Him by decision was free money in there because Silver is pretty tough, right?
Oh yeah,
Silver is really
that
tough.
dude's so tough. And
But yeah, I'm gonna pick Wilkinson by decision. Does he finish him? I don't know if he's gonna finish him.
no, yeah,
I think he's gonna go
Yagshimuradov can
longer.
wrestle too, and if he
Yeah.
gets in trouble, I could see him shooting.
I think it's gonna go the same way like Silver and Wilkinson did. I think it's gonna be like similar. I like the over. I think it goes over 1.5 rounds. I like that a lot.
They got a line at
I think
1.5?
I think they're both gonna take their time. I mean, they're gonna rush. They're not gonna rush in like crazy.
Yeah,
I think it goes over 1.5 rounds. The line said at 1.5 rounds. It's over
yeah, it's
1.5
minus
is minus
200.
200. Yeah, I think that's a good parlay piece on this fight.
Wilkinson decision is plus 185, but I don't think I'd play that. The only thing I'd touch is the over on this one. I wouldn't pick a side just in case.
Yeah, I don't trust either one of these guys. I don't trust
No.
Wilkinson. I think the line should be like minus 120 for Wilkinson, and then he does have the better record rate on paper, and he's done pretty good. And he couldn't finish Thiago Santos. He did out wrestle Thiago Santos, and obviously he popped for PDs, right? He popped for PDs, I think, in that fight.
Yeah, and he intentionally tried to not swing with Santos. It's like he just wanted to grapple him so bad. I don't know why. I mean, it makes sense.
I think maybe because Thiago Santos was a scary dude, right, back in the day. So
yeah, but he's not anymore.
Yeah, he's just kind of collecting paychecks at this point. So
yeah, because I think Wilkinson could have got him out of there if he wanted to, but instead he decided just to like try to grapple him the whole time. Because man, Santos.
Do you think he can wrestle? Do you think he can grapple Yagshimuradov here? I think he could.
I think that'd be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yagshimuradov is known for like better wrestling, though. I think
he's got good wrestling. He's got sneaky good wrestling too, because a lot of people think of him as that like karate stance striker, and then you see him wrestle, and you're like, oh man, this guy's
he's
good.
Pretty quick though, right? Like this guy's quick, bro. He's like the way he knocked out Jake Nadeau. I had Jake Nadeau money on Jake Nadeau, and I was like, this guy's gonna be way bigger than he's gonna knock him out. He got ran through by Yagshimuradov. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, Yagshimuradov, he's cashed a lot of tickets for me because I remember betting on him a ton back when he was in the Bellator days. Like, because like you get close enough lines on this guy. Like after he lost to Albrechtsen, like after that you could get really good lines on him. But he just kept crushing these dudes like Carvalho and Glikas. How do you say his name? Rosansky. I don't remember how you say it, but like all three of those guys, like. You got decent. I guess you didn't get as good a line on Rosansky.
I forgot about the Antonio Carlos Jr. fight. That got canceled, right? I was like, what the hell? Like, wasn't there one more fight on this card?
Yeah,
what happened there? Albrechtsen withdrew? Wow.
Yeah, I think
he actually withdrew from that fight.
But yeah. Not too bad. But yeah, we're both on the same page. Wilkinson, but it's kind of dicey, so neither of us are super confident. And
I think over. I actually like the over. I think that's
over
a good
for sure. That's what I'm on. And I believe this next matchup is a rematch from, when was this? 8 months ago. That's right. We got Impa Kasanganay and Josh Silveira. So it wasn't that long ago. These guys fought once before. Obviously, Kasanganay picked up the decision win in that one. Who do you have in this one? Do you think it goes the same? Do you think we get some different stuff?
I think it's going to go the same way. I think Impa is he's actually gotten better, where Silveira is pretty much the same dude. He does the same thing, just wrestle, and if he can't wrestle you, he's just gonna he'll try to strike with you. Doesn't have power on the feet. Not really gonna be landing damage out there. His striking is pretty mid, and he was trying to take down Impa Kasanganay, and he couldn't really hold him down. The first fight, it was a 5-round matchup, and Impa showed pretty good cardio there. And I don't think I think Impa is the one that's striking is improved a lot more. And then Silveiro's game overall. Then Silveiro hasn't really worked on his wrestling. His wrestling is still the same. You can take some of these guys down that don't have the best takedown defense. Impa we've seen has decent takedown defense now. And I think, does he finish him though? I don't know if he's going to finish him. I like Impa money line as a parlay piece too. I think this line should be a lot wider. But Silveiro, I think the first time I was like minus 190 for Impa. I got him at minus 190 the first fight. That was last year tournament. So I think Impa is gonna get this one on by decision. Can he finish him though? He did say he wants to finish him. He said I'm gonna start respect to Silveiro by finishing him, and so he might finish him. I mean, but I think Silveiro he's just one of those dudes that has a crazy chin on him, and he's just not not gonna look for the door. And he went 5 rounds with him the first time, so 3 rounds shouldn't be a problem for him, I think. And Wilkinson has power too, and Wilkinson's a pretty good kickboxer. Went the distance with Wilkinson too, so I think it goes the distance on like Impa. Moneyline, I like the moneyline more than by decision because he's really found that power. I mean, he has been knocking people out, right? So we've seen him get hurt his last fight. I mean, he was almost like close to being TKO'd by Jake Nadeau, who I think has more power on the feet than Silvero. But I'm still gonna pick Impa. I think Impa is a great parlay piece on this card.
Yeah, I think it, like you said, it's gonna go much the same. I think it probably goes to decision. Silvera's just too tough. Like the guy can just eat whatever he needs to eat and keep coming. A lot of people were thinking that Silvera was kind of like a first round or bust guy early on, and I don't know that he actually is. I mean, I feel like obviously
he's knocking out some bums. I mean, some bums that he's knocking at earlier, but those guys are really like at the top of their top.
Yeah, like when he ran through like Sam Key and then Monte and then Flores, those guys. Yeah, everybody was like, "Oh man, he's first round or bust." But I don't think that's the case. I think it's more of a situation where like those guys just weren't the level.
Yeah, he's a workhorse though for sure. But I just think the physicalities. He looked a lot bigger than Impa at the weigh-ins, but I just think Impa he's really found his rhythm right now, and even that he could be on a win streak right now, right? Like I think he was on a win streak, but he could be on like he could be undefeated still right now in PFL if they gave him that win over Ablin, right? I mean, he was the one landing damage. I mean, I'm happy that Ablin barely got a, but if we're being honest right now, I mean, if we're being honest, that should have gone to Impa there. He was the only one doing damage in that fight, and Ablin wasn't really doing anything. I mean, other than just control.
Yeah, otherwise, he hadn't lost since 2022, so that only loss was that Evelyn loss because he hasn't lost in the PFL.
He could be undefeated right now in PFL.
And I think he gets it done here, really. I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's probably – what do they got on the over-unders here? Let's see. We've got –
I think it's 2.5 rounds, right?
It is. Darn it. If it was 1.5, I'd probably play it. 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 is kind of risky. I still think it goes over, but it's going to be sweaty because if he can't get takedowns, he's in a striking matchup with Impa. It's going to be a problem because Impa.
You get Impa decision at plus 100 on BetOnline.
I'm already got the money now. I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch that. So it's gonna be sweaty. I'm gonna be pissed off if he gets a KO. Then I'm gonna be like, when you have a decision on a guy, then he gets a KO. So I had the fight starts on too in the Kavanaugh fight, right? Kavanaugh and what was it, Antoine Ho as the parlay piece. And I was like, that was minus 900. So I was like, that was pretty safe.
It was not somehow, dude. That was such a heartbreaker because I had Antoine Ho in that fight, and like he had the skills. Apparently, he didn't have the chin. We found that out.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a chin. It just that Kavanaugh hits like
it was a perfect shot too.
It was just a short left hook. It was right on the money. But lucky for me, I had Delgado by KO, so I made some money back there. But I was pissed off that I was pretty confident. I was telling everyone in the chat, I was like, this is gonna go over for sure.
You would have thought, like I thought for sure we were gonna get a decision in that fight with two guys going back and forth. I thought it was gonna be close, but
I was like maybe third round TKO if Kavanaugh, like if Antonio starts getting tired and he panic wrestles. Yeah, it was just the way he knocked him out. I mean, Kavanaugh is never gonna see Kavanaugh at like minus 150 anymore in the UFC for a long time, unless they give him someone like legit. He's probably gonna be like minus 250, minus 300 now.
Yeah, I mean, if they book him with somebody like super good, he'll be. I mean, they're not gonna put him in there with like, a top 5 guy, but like at the same time,
it'll probably be like top 30, top 25, maybe.
Yeah, like watch him put him against like, I mean, somebody that's fighting this weekend, like Jesus Aguilar and stuff. He'll be like a minus 600 in that fight. So
Jesus Aguilar has the shortest reach, I think, overall. Even some women fighters out there.
Yeah, he's the shortest male reach. The shortest female is.
I think the third female, Corey McKenna, right? I think she has a 57-inch range.
It's ridiculous. Like you're like, how does somebody get created with their arms so short? Like, how are you born like with those genetics? That's not real.
57-inch reach is crazy.
It's so small.
And he still knocked out Shannon Ross. I mean, with the 62-inch reach.
For sure.
That was unreal.
I remember everybody was saying like, "There's no way that Aguilar is going to knock out Shannon Ross."
I had picked him by submission.
Round 1
I mean, I had money on it. It was only like minus 150, I think, on the money line. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, bro, he just fucking slept. I was like, why not put more money on this guy? It was like minus 150. I was like worried that if he can't get takedowns, it's probably gonna be close. Yeah, Shannon Ross, rest in peace, Shannon Ross, I guess.
Yeah, I bet that round 1 KO. I was like,
You
it's
bet the KO? You bet
Yep.
the KO on him? Holy
Yep, on
shit!
that
Did
one.
you,
I was so
what was the
happy.
odds on that? What were the odds on that?
I don't remember at this point. That's so long ago. That was
Yeah,
ages ago.
I picked him by submission. I was like, maybe he's probably gonna go maybe club and sub or like submission or like rear naked choke. But yeah,
Well, why don't we make a parlay, shall we?
let's go. Let's make a parlay on this card.
Okay. So I think the obvious that we both were super heavy on, we'll use Bet Online as our parlay here, was Impa and Primis. We can start with that as our base. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that, and I like Rabadonov too. I think he's gonna win too.
Oh, yeah, easy. So let's put those three in and see where we're at. So let's see. We got Primis at 190.
It's probably not plus money. Is it plus
So
money?
far.
Close. Probably close to plus money now.
God, well, yeah, because minus 190 helps a lot. So minus 470 on Impa, and then minus 605. Oh, yeah, so we're already at plus 116.
We'll add one or two more legs.
Yeah, I mean, plus 116 is good, but like we can hit something else. I think I might actually play this parlay as soon as we're off. Like the one right there, that 116. I think I'm gonna play that. Like
I got one with Rosen Strike. I mean, I got Impa, Rabadonov, and I got Ollie Walsh and Rosen Strike tomorrow on Saturday. But yeah, I like Primis or Rabadonov. I like the over in the Wilkinson fight because I think it's gonna go over 1.5. But it's
okay,
like,
let's see what we get on that. Over Wilkinson minus 200. Go over we had a minus 200. That's gonna be good. Oh yeah, so that puts us at plus 224. Do we want to sweeten it or are we sticking with that?
I actually like that. Ollie Walsh is like, bro, it's not even worth it. I think is it even worth it? Minus 1,500. It's not gonna get us much juice on that.
Let's see what it comes out to. Hey, I mean, it only puts us 245.
Yeah, just don't even add him in there.
It's 224 to 245. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not worth adding him in there. I actually like that. I think that's solid. For like parlays, I think it's solid.
Yeah,
those guys are all proven. I mean, they're all proven themselves. All these fighters on the prelims. I mean, there's like a couple of guys that not that proven. I don't know. I just got a bad feeling Tad Gene. I think he might go out there and get a crazy first round KO though. But I don't know. The line is minus 350 kind of throws me off a bit because like Chris Brown has been to really close fights with Bob Mondes, Carlos Leo, and these guys. So those guys are pretty solid. That's the reason I don't want to put him in a parlay.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm putting this in the chat right now. Let's see that parlay, and it comes out to plus.
Primis is a band grimy. Yo, I like Primis. I can't wait to see Primis and Clay Collar. It's gonna be an absolute barn burner, unless Primis just takes him down and submits him right away. Yeah, Primis's last fight was crazy, right? I mean, I was going crazy on the last stream. I was like, "Holy shit, he got that submission!"
Dude, Primis is such a dog. Like. Yeah. I'm more confident I think I'm more confident in him than I am.
I mean, he almost knocked him out too. Right? He almost knocked out Renfro in the first round. Like, you're gonna be bad. I mean, so I'm excited. I'm gonna be going crazy in the live stream for this fight. I think the Impa fight could be boring if he doesn't find the power on Silvero chin holds up, which I think it might hold up. If they had the over 1.5 rounds, I would take the over 1.5 in that fight. But I like Impa money line. I think that's so solid. I would play Impa all the way at like minus 800 or minus 900 still. I think even up to like minus 900, he's solid.
Oh yeah.
You like any parlays for UFC?
Man, this UFC card's rough because there's like the favorites are so ridiculous.
I got one. I got with the Delgado and Ursay, and I got Jenkins.
I mean, yeah, Jenkins is a good parlay.
Delgado, I was so confident Delgado get the KO, and he got that KO. That was so fucking easy. Delgado is a problem, man. I'm like, hopefully we see Delgado in the he's gonna be fighting soon, I think, but he's already fought like 3 times, I think, this year.
Yeah,
even the other dude. I mean, what was the guy's name? Hamid just wasn't trying to like find a finish. I mean. Sometimes Dana White gives out contracts to guys that are like taking fights in short notice. They're underdogs. They win. He'll get a contract. But the Hamid fight was so boring. That Ding Dong, what's that guy's name? Meng Ding. He was like one of the worst fighters I've seen in like contender series overall.
That fight was so weird because like, I mean, would we get like 4 or 5 like groin shots? Like that fight was so strange. Yeah, that was just so rough.
But Ding doesn't know how to cut off the cage at all. This guy is pretty terrible.
I thought that I was surprised how confident the judges were in giving it to Hamed because I could.
They had a 28-27, I think 28-27. So I gave him the first round, I give the second round. Second one was close, but I give it
Second
to
was
Ming
close.
Ding because he got the takedown at the end. Third round, I still give third round to Hammett, even with no point deduction. But with the point deduction, it was 28-20. I think 28-27, 29-27 scorecard was correct.
Yep, I
The
agree.
Ding
Yeah,
wasn't
there
really
was a
landing
third and
anything clean.
27, wasn't there?
One just tried 30-27.
Which, how do you even get that if with a point deduction? Like, how is that even possible?
I guess he didn't know how to score with the point deduction, so he's just like, let me just give it 30-27.
Yeah, I don't think that's even like a thing that can be done. I really don't think.
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't
do
know.
that.
It just doesn't make sense.
I
scored it
sit there and do the
28-27.
math.
I thought the 29-27 was the right scorecards.
I agree.
And I hope they bring the other guy back. Schultz, whatever his name is. He's pretty fun to watch. I mean,
Wes
party
Schultz,
time. Yeah, he's pretty fun. Hope they bring him back.
So I actually saw Wes Schultz fight in like one of his early amateur fights because he's from Wisconsin, but he so the Midwest kind of regional scene. He had come to Omaha to fight for a couple of fights, and even back as an amateur, the guy was pretty good. But like, man, he has come a long way. If he wasn't matched up with somebody that was just such a physical specimen,
yeah,
Schultz could have got that one.
He can break some people out there. I think he just has that dog in him. But just this guy is a freak. I don't know how he made 185, and he's fighting at 205 before a couple of fights ago. Yeah, I remember Malik is a freak. His grounded pound is some of the nastiest grounded pound that I've seen. His elbow, the way he throws his elbows, man, that's fucking scary. Those elbows.
That's what I was like when I was taping the fight. That's what I thought. I was like, man, like Schultz is tough as nails, but at the same time, like this dude could pound his head into the canvas and make them become one. Like this guy.
Schultz he's got grounded pound, but it's not like as vicious as Malik. Malik just has. We've seen him go second on at least, right? We've never seen him. I was like, that's the reason I didn't put money on him because I was scared that what happens if he goes second on. Well, at the line, it was like minus 350. So I was like, I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Even if I thought Malik was gonna win, I was more likely to put money on Schultz just because I knew I could trust his cardio and I knew he would be like still putting out offense in the third round. But like I just ended up passing. I
could see him coming back. I mean, he should probably fight Dylan Budka to see who stays in the UFC.
There you go. Yeah, because Schultz actually lost to Budka back in the day, and it was a horrible fight.
I think you can beat him in the rematch.
I think
Budka
so too.
Looked just kind of quit.
Yeah, and Schultz just got like laid on, and like no damage was done. In the UFC, the referee won't do that. Like the referee's gonna be like, "Look, you're gonna have to stand up at this point." And at that point, I think as the fight goes, I think Schultz would get more damage.
Yeah, I think he would have the better cardio overall. Even next week, have you taken a look at the next week Dana White series? It's pretty chalky card, right?
I have 4 of the fights taped. So
I taped like a couple of fights, and I already know a couple of guys. Torres Finney, I know him. I know the other guy. That's in the main event, Gustafsson. I actually think Gustafsson is solid, bro. But I haven't watched any tape on the Canadian dude. There's like a bunch of Canadian fighters fighting. I think it's gonna be fade all the Canadians, except maybe one. There's one guy that might win on that's fighting at Cortavius or Mevius. I think that he might have a chance, to be honest, but not much of a chance. So the line is crazy though.
I got 4 of them taped. I'm gonna probably upload my videos hopefully tomorrow, but maybe Saturday. We'll see. But I'll have them on the channel.
Torres Finney, bro. Why didn't they sign him? Why didn't they sign Torres Finney? Like I don't get.
It was so dumb. They wanted him to like go win a couple more fights, I guess, but I don't know. It's wild.
I mean, they've signed way worse people on Dana White before, and this guy goes out there and finishes the guy that had a hype on him, and
Penfrov.
Yeah, Penfrov had some hype on him.
And
I think the striking as well like kept Dana White from signing him because the striking was looking kind of sloppy. But he is sloppy, but he got a KO at last fight across the can. So
yep,
yes, he's been working on that striking.
I think if he gets the win here, I think they bring him on whether he gets a finish or not. But like if he gets a finish, it's a lot.
I think he needs a finish. I mean, I think he's gonna need to get a KO or something in a submission. Because I think Dana White wants to see exciting. I mean, we had first week of Dana White Contender Series was really exciting. 4 KOs, right? I think it was 4 KOs. No submissions, right? It was no submission. I thought Lopez was going to get a submission, but he got a KO too. The other guy just quit. Kelly just quit out there. But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to need to get a KO. I think he's going to go for the KO here, then a submission. Submission is probably, I mean, his bread and butter is probably going to get the submission easy if he wants to, but probably going to be KO, I think. Maybe ground and pound.
I'll let everybody get my take on that one when the videos come out. Chat.
Yeah.
You know, gotta get those views, right? If I don't do that, if I give all my stuff out now, nobody's gonna watch those videos. So
That's true. That's true. That's true.
But yeah, and like those Dana White Contender Series videos, those are the ones that I get the most views on my channel. So I'm all for it. But
Yeah, I'm glad it's back, man. Tuesdays. I mean,
Same.
it helps the week go by quicker. I mean,
it's my favorite time of the year.
yeah, Tuesdays. I mean, it makes Tuesdays more fun.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But with that, we can wrap it
got
up
through
here.
it.
Pickem, tell everybody where they can find you. I'm sure half these people in the chat are from your channel anyway, but tell
My
everybody
channel
where
is
they can find
Pickem
you.
MMA, guys. You guys can find me in Pickem MMA. I'll be live for PFL tomorrow, so you guys, if you guys want to find a chill stream to hang out and kick back, watch some fights, make some money, and you guys can find me at Pickem MMA, and I'll see you guys there. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
It was a pleasure, bro, doing the breakdown with you. We should probably do one for next week. Let me know if you got some time next week.
Next week?
Next week we got a pretty good card next week. I mean, I think it's a better card than this week. PFL 9. Yeah. We got Mosaev. I mean, Mosaev he's gonna be. I don't know why they made a rematch. Why did they do a rematch with that guy that he's fighting? Yeah, he's fighting. What's his name? Ramazanov in a rematch. I'm sure he's not gonna be the underdog this time, right?
I don't imagine.
Now 95% of people are picking him on Tapology, but he was like plus 170 2 times in a row.
They only have 9 fights next week. That's weird.
They're probably gonna add one more.
It's because a bunch fell out. That's right. Yeah, they'll probably fix some of these that fell out.
Yeah,
maybe. But
yeah, next week is gonna be a better card. I'm excited for this next week card. This week should be solid too. I mean, we got some Pakistani, we got Primis. I mean, so it should be some exciting fights out there.
For sure. Yeah. Hopefully we can get together and do it next week too if you want, because that'll save.
Yeah, I'm down to do it next week. I'm gonna watch some tape. Probably Monday or like I think we got a UFC Apex card also. Or something like that next week. But
and I think it's gonna be the Ultimate Fighter finale as well.
Yeah, those Apex cards are always like, I'm gonna stop betting a lot of parlays and stuff on those Apex cards.
Gotta be careful. But all right, brother, we'll get out of here. Chat, thank you guys for coming. Appreciate you. Pickem's links are in the description for anybody that isn't familiar. But yeah, check him out. Have some fun. We'll probably be back next week. So see you guys there.